Welcome!
Hey guys, welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the penultimate to What If Mercenary Tau Turned Good. Before we get started, be sure to check out the Omniverse's homepage where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, both Google Docs, and everything else the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around and turning on all Omniverse notifications, and commenting future requests and expectations in the comment section. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time. The Tournament of Power roster is set, and now the tournament itself begins. Goku goes against Ganos. Hit and Basal target Narirama. Lila Bu gets knocked out, and then Napapa almost gets knocked out. Goku almost gets knocked out by Nink, but stays in. And then Goku gets attacked by Universe 9, who are not after him from the Expo, because I've never really introduced the Expo in these stories. Not yet. But I was going to point out Zamasu's inclusion in this tournament more specifically, and I did say he was going to be in the tournament because he wasn't involved in the Zero Mortal plan, and I was going to do that route. But now that I'm thinking about it, he would either not be in the tournament or he would just get knocked out very easily, considering the fact that I don't want to repeat myself with how I made it happen in the Zombie Goku story and our group's stuff in this story. So I'm just going to say he's not in it or just gets knocked out very, very early because I don't want to have to go through all of what I did in the Zombie Goku one over again. Watch that Tournament of Power ending for that story if you don't get what I mean. So Goku fights Universe 9, which I'll get to in a minute. Tao and Hit are about to go in for their rematch. Goku and Raditz instead of Goku and Vegeta, because remember, Vegeta, Android and all that. Goku and Raditz are the ones to team against Universe 9, and they use a Super Saiyan Blue Brotherly Weekend Kamehameha, which would be freaking sick to see, considering I've never made them extraordinarily team up in a story before. So this would be like the biggest example and moment of it. And we haven't even gotten to the end yet. Narirama not getting attacked by Hit and like his arms getting, chopped off and everything like that. He gets up with no one fighting him, and he is going to fight against Bota Magetta. So this is going to be a very even fight, for now at least. Hit powers up to his maximum and uses time skip after time skip and uses every single move at his disposal. But Tao getting a hold of Ultra Instinct way earlier on than Goku, and the fact that he would have, obviously trained harder with it, and the fact he used a time skip, or at least reversed engineered a time skip from Hit in the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament, this proves that he is able to almost completely toy with Hit, and if Hit does attack him, it either doesn't do that much damage at all, it's not even anywhere close to the damage that Tao took in the tournament before, or he just reverses the attacks to actually damage Hit instead. Either way, Ultra Instinct versus plus time skip, the two combined, it's no contest against a lone time skipper like Hit. So it proves Tao is showing to be the ultimate assassin, and this is not going to be a draw this time. Hit knows this and knows he only has one option left to beat Tao. He goes in for a shockwave, teleports, and goes right behind Tao, ready for his time prison. But Tao reverses the time skip again, uses Ultra Instinct to dodge, and then he uses a solar flare for the first time, using a crane school technique that he never used before, and he uses Ultra Instinct's fast motion attacks along with a time skip and just blasts, hits, and demolishes Hit out of the ring. So, yep, this was almost no contest. Narirama loses to Bota Magetta and is knocked out of the ring, but he does put up a very much so more of a fight. So I actually gave Narirama a little more chance to shine here. As for Shosa and Majora, Yamcha in his Supreme Demon King form summons 5 Avatar wolves behind him, and with his own powers, 2 other wolves, they just see who the actual superior wolf martial artist is. And then Frost tries an attack behind Yamcha, but come on, really? Frost just gets knocked out and then erased for attacking. Kaba knocks out Nigirishi and Murasum to go against everybody else. Caulifla helps Kale knock out Napapa and attack Methiop. And then Caulifla and Goku have their fight, forcing Kale to go berserk and attack Goku. And then Jiren comes in to one-shot Kale. And Kale and Caulifla's fight with the Pride Troopers goes almost exactly the same. Besides the fact that 17 and 18 aren't helping out Goku, it would just be like Tao or Raditz or something, but it's really not that worth pointing out. And then we get to Universe 2 and their transformation. But, as I've said before, without Vegeta blasting and everything, Jiren would actually knock out Ribrianne. So, I've done this before in my stories. If Vegeta wasn't there to attack Ribrianne and fight her, which is the reason why Ribrianne got off her little pedestal heart blasting thing, then Jiren would just literally one-shot her. It was shown plain as day. So Ribrianne's knocked out. As for Vakel and Kakunza, Yamcha, with his Supreme Demon King Third Eye abilities, he uses a Spirit Ball Rain and just demolishes the 2 maiden warriors, essentially mocking Ribrianne's technique, if you really think about it. Then Goku attacks Rosie, and Jamise tries to save her, but Krillin uses this as a perfect opportunity, and with his own Yardratian training, he uses instant transmission, possibly another ability, and a spread shot energy blast, and both of them are knocked out. Then Gohan. He knocks out Botamo, and then we get to Albany and Rubalt. Albany is still going to fight Gohan while Rubalt fights Piccolo, and essentially that's going to go the exact same. As for Albany and Gohan, it begins to go the same, but remember, Gohan, this is a completely different Gohan because of, time and everything that's what's happened to him, future Gohan being the better one. And it just begins to see Albany winning, but then Gohan showing that he did unlock this, even though there was no Neva or mystic abilities granted to him. Gohan is still a very formidable person in this story. He shows that he unlocks Super Saiyan 4 after Raditz using it in the Demon Realm. But no matter how hard he tries, Super Saiyan 4 is barely able to keep up with Albany. And Albany is impressed that Gohan has lasted this long. But Gohan then powers up to Super Saiyan God and wins the fight. So Universe 10 is erased. Then we see Dispo and Kenshi. But without Hit, who do they attack? Well, they attack Tao, and because of Tao not fully mastering Ultra Instinct Sign and using the time skip and fighting with it, he didn't injure himself, but his stamina is still nowhere near the level of being able to master the ability. So with him like half a ways drained of stamina, it doesn't take long for Dispo's speed and Kenshi's abilities to kind of overwhelm him to the point of not being able to take him on 1 against 2 anymore. Plus, it's a numbers thing. So Goku comes in with Super Saiyan Blue, and he saves Tao, forcing Dispo and Kenshi to retreat. As for Kawaii, Dokuri, and Ganos, and even in his monster form, Yamcha with his supreme Demon King abilities and just being the person that he is, once again showing how strong he is compared to Universe 4 and the superior wolf martial artist, he uses a Spirit Ball Kamehameha, which would, I don't even need to say how epic of a combination that would be. As for Prom and Hermilla, Gohan and Piccolo take cover as Krillin essentially takes Tien's place, and as others have touched upon, Krillin would basically be the Tien here. Nothing would change here except that there's no Vegeta. So, Krillin is the first to be knocked out. Kenshi is the one to booby trap the area because everybody senses something, and Mashikayo comes in and he tries an attack, managing to slither through Kenshi's booby traps because of who he is. But Dispo attacks, and then Mashikayo captures him, and Jiren eliminates him. But now, Broly is going to take focus, because I said that he was going to become a centerpiece in this story. He goes crazy on all of the fighters. The rage is beginning to get to him. He might have been training for a good minute with our fighters since Battle of Gods, but he hasn't fully mastered the ability to control his rage, especially in his wrath form. So he begins to go crazy on the fighters, specifically picking Magetta. And he uses a gigantic mouth beam, and this counteracts Magetta's flames. But with Broly's wrath, anger, and power growing and experience in the tournament, it just overweighs anything that Magetta is going to try to throw at him. Piccolo yells out at everyone, "We need to stop Broly now before this gets out of hand. This is like Kale all over again. We haven't seen him go berserk. This could be bad." And it's shown to be that while Broly manhandles Magetta like crazy. There's no insults here that need to stop Magetta if you got Broly around. And he begins to slam and just mercilessly attack Magetta. Goku uses a solar flare, and Gohan, Piccolo, and Goku together blast Broly all the way to the other end of the ring to make sure that at least they knock him unconscious or something like that. They're not trying to knock him out of the ring, but they are trying to knock him out, you know? And then we get Goku versus Jiren. This is the halfway point of the tournament, and the finale is next time. How will the rest of the tournament go? Will our team win, or will this be the first story in the Omniverse in which they lose, as we close off next time for Tao's redemption story?
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!